Hey, Gabriel Blake.
Hey, Gaybros, Jose.
Where are we today?
We're on separate sides of the country again.
Yeah, unfortunately, all good has to come to an end. And our
But it was a
small...
good time in Chicago. I
No,
haven't
it
been
was
awake
good.
that late in years.
That was a bit crazy. But yeah, and that was a good batch of episodes. But now it's time to go back to our new normal. Our new normal is normal, unfortunately. And just talking about normal, what did we watch this time?
This was your pick, and you discovered in one of the conversations in the last 3 recordings we did together that I hadn't seen Best in Show. I can't remember the context we were talking about it, but it's going to be interesting because I had always meant to watch it, and you don't like comedies, so this is interesting.
Yeah, I don't like comedies, but for some weird reason, I find this one hilarious. I mean, I think I had already watched This is Spinal Tap when I watched, how do you say, Best in Show.
Uh-huh.
And I think that probably This is Spinal Tap is one of the most popular kind of mockumentaries, or one of the precursors for just creating like mockumentaries as a media, let's say.
It got like awards attention, right? Didn't it get nominated for Best Picture
This is Spinal Tap?
for the Oscar? No. Sorry, Best in Show.
Oh, gotcha. I'm not sure. Maybe it is. I think that the cast is pretty good. It follows that same format, about like just making a fake reality, but doing like weird enough that is believable. So
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
can see that.
Yeah, I don't know.
The New York Times called it almost surreal.
Almost, and that's the part that makes it so funny. No, I don't see. No, I don't see any Oscar nomination for Best in Show.
Okay. I thought it got a lot of attention. I was also 16 when this came out, so
Yeah, I could say that regardless of the attention, I think it's the first time that I saw like a mockumentary that I found hilarious. This was before The Office and the likes. So it was a bit more of okay, I see what you're doing is about like just mimicking reality well enough and with a tiny bit off that it makes it like not too awkward. It makes it enjoyable,
yeah, that's a good point. This wasn't awkward like The Office is awkward.
Yep.
It's just funny.
Yep. But it's like you believe like some of the couples that they could actually be, like exist in real life.
Yeah, it's true.
And I have a question for you before you actually summarize the movie. Did you feel as a dog owner identifying with any of the couples?
I mean, there's like this. I knew I was going to struggle with names. The yuppie couple from Chicago. I mean, they took things too far, but like, how much do I pamper my dogs? It's a lot. It's a lot. They fly on planes. They stay in like hotel suites when I'm gone that are like upgraded from basic accommodations.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess them, but I didn't really identify with any of them. I mean, the Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hare, their couple, they just seem to like love their dog a lot but treat it normally. Kind of. So maybe them.
Okay, that's fair.
And like the end of the competition, when you see Eugene Levy holding up his dog and it does the freeze frame and people are taking pictures, I'm like, yeah, that's me. How many videos did I make you watch of my dog when I was in Chicago?
Yeah, that's true. It was almost like a baby. So I'm not going to be like saying anything, but I think that you love your dog, that you love many human beings.
Oh no, it's like my husband, you, and then my dogs, and then everyone else.
Okay, at least I'm about the dogs. Barely, but I'm about the dogs. Okay, that's good. So what is this movie about?
There's so much to unpack here. I'm going to be relatively vague in the description. Basically, it follows I'm going to say 5 dogs who are going to enter this fictional dog competition that takes place in Philadelphia. And they're the owners of the dogs. Most of them are couples, but there's like this Christopher Guest, the character he plays, he's the director. And he wrote it. He's a single guy that raises bloodhounds. So it shows all of them. We kind of get introduced to who they are. We kind of see them interacting with their dogs. The characters are all exaggerated in a very humorous way. And you told me this. I haven't read much trivia. Most of the dialogue is just these comedians, and they're all hilarious. Like Jennifer Coolidge, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, of course, who's hilarious. I mean, Fred Willard as the commentator that doesn't understand anything. That was hilarious. So anyway, these 5 contestants, the 5 dogs and their owners, we get introduced to them. We kind of see their relationship dynamics, both with their dogs and each other. Then they arrive to Philadelphia, right? It was Philadelphia.
Yep.
And you see the neurotic ways that they interact with each other and prepare for the show. And then the show actually happens. And I didn't expect the show to take up so much screen time, just because it doesn't really make sense to watch a dog show in real time. Not that you do, but they spend a lot of time on the dog show, which I really enjoyed. And like the dialogue is basically the commentators, which were one of my favorite parts, and all of these dog owners interacting with each other and mostly being kind to each other. There's a little bit of conflict, but it's not mean spirited like sometimes the author.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is like just basically from Jane Lynch, that is playing herself, like in every single role.
Yep, it's the exact same character. And the second that she showed up on the screen as Jennifer Coolidge's dog trainer, it was so clear what was happening there. And I was like, yes, I'm going to try this storyline. So we see the show, we see the end of the show. I already spoiled things. We know which dog wins. And then at the very end, there's a very nice... it's not very long, just a few minutes, but it shows us 6 months later and what each of the dog owners are doing later, and it's funny.
So
did I leave anything out?
No. I mean, I think that is the gist of it. And to say that I love the gay couple when they're at the end about like, well, we're using this photographer that, you know, he did like some photographs for us in the past. Let's not talk about exactly what genre we're doing, but now we're doing like a calendar. I love like the idea of the calendar that is like classical movies with Shih Tzus. It's so ridiculous, but it's like, that's hilarious. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite moments with the commentator. It's like, the normal one is like, what do you think about Shih Tzus? And he's like, what? Shih Tzus. And it's like, well, that's a name you have to be careful with.
Shih Tzus.
The plot, honestly, is not the most important thing in the slightest. It's really just letting these actors who are all hilarious just riff off of each other in their like camera-facing interviews, the way they interact. It's nobody started this project thinking, I've got a strong plot, we need to stick to it, these are the characters I see. It's really just a movie about actors who are hilarious and good at improv.
Yep. Yeah, no, certainly. And you can actually see it, how sometimes they take like 1 more second to react, but when they react, it's amazing. You know,
and I will say that it paid off. Overall, I liked this movie, but that's a risky approach to anything, let alone a comedy. And some of the scenes for me personally went on way too long and they weren't funny, and it kind of lost me. And then like Catherine O'Hara would come on screen and do something like batshit hilarious and I would laugh again.
Yeah. I don't know, I mean, it's funny. I don't think that what are scenes they felt like too long and that they lose it.
Is it Parker Posey? Is that the actress's name? Who's the yuppie?
Yep.
Okay, so Parker Posey and her husband have some of the most hilarious scenes in the show. I really liked it, but there's a certain type of humor that this show, the movie champions, that's just not my thing personally. So they start to tell the story of how they met, and they talk about how they met They ran into each other at Starbucks, not at the same Starbucks, but they
Starbucks.
saw each other across the street from a Starbucks. And they just kind of go on, and they talk about his order, and then they go off on his lactose intolerance. I'm not saying that, like, objectively it's not funny. I'm saying it's not for me. Like, it just went on too long. Like, we get it. The joke was...
Yeah.
Like,
No. The joke was there already, but I had to say that I found it hilarious. That's one of my favorite scenes. Is that's my favorite couple about, like, laughing at them. You know, it's just like, I was drinking a Grand Espresso. It's like, I thought that it was so sexy. I was more of a cappuccino girl. It's like, well, now I'm more of a chai, soy, milk tea. You know, because I'm lactose intolerant. Yeah, he's so lactose intolerant. Is that the only way of making it funnier is that, I'm also ordering some gluten-free pastries. But
and I will say that I feel like this is light years ahead of its time. Like, the amount of, like, quote-unquote gluten intolerance today that we have to listen to people talk about. Like, 21 years ago, I mean, the filmmakers saw where things are going. And they, honestly, the mockumentary style that is a lot of TV now owes a lot to this film. And Christopher Guest in other films.
No, definitely I think that he had a good eye. Now it's interesting because I saw his last film, I think that is called Mascots. Yeah, Mascots. Like 5 years ago. It has been already. That's crazy. Doesn't have anything else.
He has like 1 million acting credits. Maybe he's focusing on acting.
Yeah, he did another documentary. No. I think that even as actor, he doesn't have anything after Mascots. There is on Netflix that it was one of these, like, own productions. It was. Family Tree, I watched half of it. It's okay, but Mascots is not that good, not that funny. But I think that at this point is that this is a hilarious movie. It's like really well directed. I think that it encapsulates something that we have seen more and more with time. People that they treat their dogs as if they are kids, that all their lives revolves around them. You know? Are you feeling attacked right now?
It's a real thing. No, I just read an article that was about how millennials are treating their dogs so well that they're giving them fresh food. So the major dog producers like Purina, they're like panicking because they're going out of business. And then the headline was major dog food companies suffering because millennials are treating their dogs too well. And some millennial commented, millennials finally treating dogs like they deserve to be treated and giving them actual food instead of something that barely counts as caloric intake. There, I fixed your title for you.
And they're still being painted to be the bad in the story. But yeah, no, that's hilarious. I mean, there are like many scenes that I find like pretty endearing or pretty funny. And as we said at the beginning, it's like, I'm not a comedy fan. I'm not. I recognize it.
Yeah.
Like, most of the time, I'm like, if this is supposed to be funny, I don't get why. I don't even like understand why this is going to be funny. With this one, I truly understand it. You know, I truly understand it. And I think that probably the first time that I watched it, as I was not too much into comedy, and most of these actors and actresses come from the comedy world, it was like, is this a mockumentary? Or is this real?
So comedies, I think I like comedies a little bit more than you, but overall they're not my thing unless they're very, very dark comedies.
Like A Christmas Story.
That is a comedy.
That's not a comedy, dude. That's not a comedy.
I did like this film, but there is a type of humor that in here. So again, I like the film. Some things I'm critical of is like the mouth prosthetics to make Eugene Levy talk funny.
Oh yeah.
That sort of comedy. The fact that Parker Posey had braces, like the fact that Eugene Levy was literally born with 2 left feet. Like those are the sort of like cheap laughs I think you went for. But in Christopher Guest's defense, like that's the type of humor people like, and he surrounded it with so much. Again, this is all subjective. So much stuff that I liked that I was easily able to overlook it. But in that first scene, it opens up. Parker Posey and her husband are having a therapy session, and they're talking about their child catching them having sex and how the family dynamic has been off since then. And then the camera pans over, and you see that their quote-unquote child is their Weimaraner who's attending the therapy session with them. So there's a lot of that, like those visual jokes, which either work for you or they don't. For me, there are some of the few negatives, but overall, like I really enjoyed that the director just like put full faith in these hilarious actresses and was just like, Jennifer Coolidge, Jane Lynch, we're gonna put you on camera, be lesbians and be funny, and that's it.
Yep. And it's like I think that it works. Is like, for example, the Little Hours. I don't think that it did work. I don't know if you watch it.
What?
The Little Hours, the small hours, the Little Hours.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a movie from 2017. It has also like a really good cast. You know, the guy from Portlandia that I always forget the name that I find
Fred
very
Armisen.
Audrey Plaza, you know, and plenty of other people that probably come from SNL, so I don't know them.
Because Jose doesn't watch SNL, he's way too cool for that.
No, I mean, I only watch the sketches that you and other friends send me. He said, why do I have to put up with 2 hours when I can actually just wait until people send me the good stuff? The same thing like with TikTok. It's like, why I'm going to be like just going over a ton of shitty content when you can just send me the good stuff.
Does that mean you want me to send you more TikToks? Because I've got a lot of good TikToks.
Send me the good ones. Only the good ones, okay? I can tolerate the good ones, not the random bullshits. But yeah, with comedies, I think that I've been more like the same kind of way. If I hear like enough people saying that like, this is really good, I will watch it. But Jared?
From the Emma Stone actress on the game.
Oh yeah,
set.
that sketch is amazing. It's like, I love it. I will watch it like so many times. Jared, no, with my godson. I love it. But beyond that, I had the feeling that for having those 3 good sketches, there has been like 2 hours of this hasn't been good.
Yeah, you have to sift through a lot of shit to find something good. Just like comedy.
Exactly. Yep. Should we go over the questions?
Let's do it.
Yep. Would you watch it again?
Yes. Not soon, but yeah, I would watch it again.
Yeah, me too. I will watch it again, not right now. And I think there is a movie that when people ask, well, I don't want to give like the next one, but yeah, I will watch it again. Would you recommend it?
Yeah. If somebody was like, hey, I like comedy, I'd be like, hey, I know a really smart, maybe not, well, it is smart, that's smart.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly the same thing. There's like, if someone asks me for a comedy, it's like, this is one of the first that it will come to my mind. The second one, it will be I Heart Huckabees.
For me, it's Clueless, and then Bring It On.
You only talk about gay
That's the
people.
Jose looked at me like he doesn't know me at all.
No, I do know you at all. I assume that you are joking. You know, you're just provoking me on that. Could you remember it?
To be honest, I don't think so. As I was saying, like, the magic of this movie is just watching the characters interact with each other, and there's a lot of stuff there. I'm not going to remember any specifics. Overall, I'll remember what the film is, but not much about the plot specifically. I will probably forget which dog wins, and I'll be excited all over again.
I had to say that I wasn't completely sure if the terrier won or not. I only remember that Rhapsody in White didn't win, and I remember that
How long ago did you watch this for the last time?
8 years? No, 6 years probably.
Wow.
Yeah, right. I think that it was with my ex, and I could say that I remember most of it. Holy shit, it's like sometimes I actually surprise myself, like just singing that jingle from the terrier couple. God loves a terrier, just he does. Then I found out this is so random, so stupid. I can just remove it from my brain. But there were like parts, you know, like specific scenes that I couldn't remember, but it's like probably I would remember like 80%. I don't find like the commentator funny, for example. I find it obnoxious. I find like just crossing a
Really?
line. Yeah, I find like crossing a line about like when you're like trying to make the scene as sad-word as possible, and just spouting random stuff. It's like, I don't find this funny.
See, this is why it's all subjective. When they bring out the big award at the end, and he's like, "Holy cow! I've taken sponge baths out of bowls smaller than that." I was like, it's hilarious to me, but all comedy is subjective. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, that's the reason why I think that you enjoy like comedy in a slightly different way than I do. Is there anything artistic about it?
I would argue, as a pioneer of the mockumentary style, yes. Like, this is a new genre. Christopher Guest clearly knows how to do it well, when not many people do. So I would say the direction of the actors is very impressive.
Yeah, okay, I can see like that. It's for me, is if they were already doing in this Spinal Tap, is that this is not something that he started, that he started, that this movie started. It's a bit more, is that okay, this is a format at this point, is cool, it's still nice. And actually the director is not, that this is Spinal Tap, he is not the director of that, it's Rob Reiner.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder if Christopher Guest wrote it or produced it?
He acted, at least, and let me see if he wrote it. Just check it right now, because I wasn't the person. Yeah, he wrote it.
Okay. Quickly, did you watch For Your Consideration?
For Your Consideration? I don't think so.
I think that may be the film I'm confusing getting award attention.
And he has like a similar cast. Catherine O'Hara. Okay. Parker
Very
Posey.
similar.
Oh my god. Eugene Levy.
Same cast.
Ed Begley. Yeah. This is a permutation of the actors. Yeah, John Michael Higgins. And okay, directed and written by Christopher Guest.
And yeah, I've heard that is a really good movie. So I'm guessing if you like this, you will like that.
Gotcha. Okay. I don't know. Well, I'm going to say yes, but I'm a bit of a yes minus, let's say. From the perspective that is like it's a format at this point already, after like other mockumentaries. So it doesn't feel like it's groundbreaking, it almost feels like you are repeating like a formula. Now you add dogs, and dogs makes everything better. And
They
you have,
really do.
yeah, and you have like a really good cast, but as you said, it's like the art doesn't really come from the directing, it comes a bit more like from the improvisation. And
Yes, exactly
worked
that.
well.
And the director putting faith in the actors and just being like, be your hilarious selves. Like
Yeah.
what other film would work like with the cast so big? I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but for me, yes. And for you,
Okay.
yes, minus.
Just minus. Let's just do that. Is it a timeless piece?
I don't think it really addresses anything like about what it means to be human, but I will say that it's a timeless piece. I think that humor is going to be relevant basically in 30 years, whether I saw it 20 years ago. It's just a funny movie.
Yeah. I don't think that we are going to be changing how we treat our pets, how we treat our dogs from here to 100 years in the future. It's like, this is a movie that if you were watching in the 40s, it's like all of them are insane. It's like nothing of this makes sense.
Understood.
But this movie is like, what, 21 years old?
Came out in 2000, so 21, 22,
21?
22 probably. I'm sure it did a festival circuit.
Gotcha. So it's like, this is something that I think that it has the same value in 2000 as it has right now, as you were saying.
Does the American dog culture, is there anything similar in Spain? Are like young wealthy kids who have 2 incomes and no kids, are they just getting these expensive breeds? Because I just bought a $1,500 puppy and I let it control my life.
Okay, but that's the reason why you spend so much money on them. If it was a kid, probably would be like even more expensive to just get one.
That's true.
So.
But are people in Spain as obsessed with would you say they're as obsessed with Americans, more or less? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I can tell you that it's like when I was living in Madrid and I was living in this cool area that is called Malasaña, there was this meme circulating that year there has been a transition from having greyhounds as the cool dog into having pugs.
Pugs, yep.
Pugs. And it was a bit more like suddenly on the streets you could see like a lot of pugs instead of seeing like the big greyhounds. And it's like there were memes online says like, what the fuck happened with the greyhounds that they were all around last year? What happened with there? Are the burgers in Burger King now or in McDonald's? It's like, what has happened? How can actually you have like the cool dog and it's like all dogs changing into that? It's just insane.
BuzzFeed did this horrible gaslighting video where they invited 100 black people to say, what are white people good at? It was a disaster. But one of the black people said, caring about their dogs way too much. And I was like, wait, is that just a San Francisco thing? Is it just an American thing? Like, I was like, oh, does not everyone love dogs as much as I do? I just thought everyone loved them.
Well, one thing is loving them and another one is like treating them as their kids. There is a degree in there.
I went to lunch with my husband and his best friend today, and I refused to partake, but they both put harnesses on their chests, put our dogs in their harnesses, and wore them to lunch. And I was like, are you kidding me? This is crossing a line even for me. So yes, we do treat them like children.
I love that. I had to say that I love that, and I would have paid for seeing it live, honestly, because I don't know how I would have reacted. I would have been like just approaching them like in slow motion, like completely speechless, pet your dogs like Mariana and Salvatore, and then just walk away. About like, I cannot talk with the owners. Is that they are from a different species.
So I was holding hands with my husband. We live in a rough neighborhood, and Pablo was laughing at how absurd we looked. English isn't his first language, so forgive the offensiveness, but he laughed and said we must look like a retarded family.
Well, he was carrying like one of your dogs in his chest.
Well, he has my puppy strapped to his chest.
Oh god, Pablo.
Yes, we did take a picture, so I'll send it to you afterwards.
Please do. I need to see that. Okay, let's carry on. Would you turn this into a TV show?
I think, yeah. I mean, I saw this going as long as, well, The Office went way too long, but like, yeah, this perfectly fit like a network series for sure.
Yeah, I can see like a limited series, or even doing like every single season about like different participants in the Mayflower competition, and then at the end of the year, like just restarting from scratch and just having like a new set of people.
I mean, if Ryan Murphy can do 9 seasons of American Horror Story, we can see 2 or 3 seasons of Best in Show.
Yeah, we will survive. Yeah. Do you think that this movie could have been better?
Oh, this is an interesting question because of my score. I would argue no, because as I've said like 5 times, the magic of this is just watching these talented actors for me. That's it. And I don't know how they could have improved those performances. Maybe just because of my own personal taste, I would take out like the gags of Eugene Levy having 2 left feet, although that makes the major joke at the show. I don't know. The answer is no. I don't think this is a perfect film, but I don't know how to improve it.
I have to say that I like that joke at the end when he's walking. Is that maybe the only joke that I enjoy of the commentary? When he actually says that he's like, am I seeing right? There is something weird with his feet. He has 2.
And he says, I never thought I'd say this, but you're right.
yeah, that's good. It's like, after all that conversation, yeah, that's good. Yeah, for me, I don't think that this could have been better. It's like, I agree with you that there may be some roughness because of the format that they have, but overall, with this idea, I don't think that there could be an easy way of doing more with it. That's my take.
I'm guessing this had a small budget, not because there's anything wrong with it. Is that true?
I don't think that it had a small budget. I mean, just think that they made up from scratch that competition.
Yeah, no, I was blown away by the number of extras. Like
Yeah.
the dog show was mind blowing, and I was like, how did they? I thought I had heard that. How did they do this on a small budget? But okay, glad to hear that because it's very impressive, and I was desperately looking for like to see the ways they're cheating to make it seem like there are more people there. No, there were a ton of people there.
Yeah,
It was great.
yeah. The budget was 10 million.
That's a decent sized
Yeah.
budget for an indie film. Yeah, good for them.
And the box office was 20 million. So that worked
That's
pretty
a
well for
good
them.
investment.
Yeah, it worked pretty well, you know. And I honestly think that this is one of those movies, just for closing, that I love to recommend. It's like you have to be like pretty dead inside for not liking something that is about people loving their dogs to an absurd extent.
You do. It's actually I've had one girlfriend, and she hated dogs, and I don't know why that was a big red flag. Besides the fact she didn't have a dick, but
Yeah, that's why you became gay.
yep, that was it. You don't love dogs? I'll try somewhere else.
Exactly. I would try like a complete different genre. Lady, you have jaded me. So should we score this?
We should, and this is the first episode where we wrote down our scores at the beginning without telling each other to see how much this conversation has influenced how we feel about the film. This was your pick.
So you have to score first.
So, I will say that I started out this conversation with a 7 and I bumped it up to a 7.5.
Oh, that's good. I started with a 7 and I remain with a 7. I have the score written here. Yeah. The problem that I have with this is like it's not the first mockumentary. If this was the first mockumentary, this would be an 8 or 8.5 for me. It's just that it's good. It's entertaining. It's like when I was after watching it, I was talking with my boyfriend and I was asking, "Hey, what do you think?" And he was like, "It was good. It was entertaining." It's exactly that. It's like for me, it's a bit more memorable because I love dogs, and there are like some sketches that they really hit me like where is the Busy Bee? Where is the Busy Bee? Don't you see that she's freaking out and screaming in the front of the dog? The dog is like, what the heck is going on here? You know, it's the chillest dog that it almost feels like they probably covered that judge with bacon on the front for actually making the dog jump on top of her.
Do you, just friend to friend, do you see me do that? Do I like absurdly take care of my dogs? Or,
No.
or like.
No, you
that
don't.
makes me feel better.
No, you don't. It's like that you actually live in a good like pet hotel is in a different, you know, it's like 2 leagues below of what we see in this movie.
Fantastic. I
Yeah.
mean, I barely give them fresh food, so.
barely. No, I think that you're a bit more overprotectionist with your dog.
Oh, yeah, no. Today, he slipped out of his little holster on Pablo's chest, and I was like, he's gonna die. I have to run him. I have to go grab him before he runs out onto that nest.
Oh, that's hilarious. But no, I don't think these people are insane. They actually have projected everything about like we don't have kids, is that we need to keep like that kind of love to a living creature that is never going to be behaving as a kid.
I have to say, one of the biggest laughs I got was on the 6-month later follow-up, and the yuppie couple with Parker Posey, they're their therapist, and they're saying, hey, everything is better, and that dog was just so negative. I'm so glad we got rid of her.
It's such a city thing. It's that everything about them is so city. I love it so much.
I really enjoyed her describing the Kama Sutra position they were in when the dogs.
It was like the council of the cow.
The Congress of the cow.
The Congress of the cow. It was a position that it was not really dignified for me. No, honestly, their conversation, I think that is the dialogue that they have, is I think that is the best of all of them.
Yeah, I think they stole the. They didn't steal the show, but they had some of the funniest scenes.
Yeah, everyone had like good scenes, you know, and just good quotes. But I think that they, like the chemistry and the kind of very terrible human beings, it was the best. You know, I love like the gay couple, but the thing is that they take it a bit too far.
Yeah, that was one of the. Although I will say, when they're packing to go to Philadelphia for 48 hours, and the like more.
A 7th kimono.
He's like, you have 7 kimonos. You're. I need an 8th.
But yeah, no, hilarious movie. I would recommend it any day. But as this was,
I really thought you were gonna score it higher.
I honestly I thought before I watched it again that I was going to be scoring it higher, but after watching it, I felt that look, this is good entertainment, like really good entertainment that you can also recommend to anyone. I think that anyone could love at this. I could recommend this to my parents, and they could actually get the gist, about like, oh yeah, this is not a documentary, but it's that these people are awkwardly similar to other people that they exist in reality, for just making it funny enough and never like too awkward or insulting. It's not like Office Space or The Office. There is this is uncomfortable close to reality. The first season of The Office.
The show is less. It made me less uncomfortable than Tiger King did, and that's reality. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, that's completely fair. I didn't watch Tiger King, so from that perspective, it's like I remember like really really good. But when I watched it again, I felt like, especially after the talk that we had about Paris is Burning, it made me feel like the multiple talks that we had about Paris is Burning, because we kept talking about Paris is Burning even
days.
Yeah,
days.
for days. Yeah. And I felt it's like, is this important in any kind of way? And I felt it's like, it's just good entertainment. It's not the first one to do this. It's not going to be probably the last mockumentary that we see in movies.
I would say it's important just because it exposed something that's never been exposed. Exposed sounds like it has a negative connotation. It gave a voice to this culture that never had a voice until Ryan Murphy. So, but yes, in terms of like a.
But this is Burning, yeah. I'm talking about Best in Show. I don't think there is like a transcendental movie.
Oh, I thought you were saying that Paris is Burning.
Oh no, man! I mean, we spent like so many hours talking about that movie. I mean, like trying to convince you about like how important it was. It's like, no, I think that Best in Show is not important or transcendental.
And that's why when we asked the question, would you watch it again, I hesitated, because there's no substance there besides laughing. So I would need to forget most of this film in order to rewatch it, because then I would be entertained again.
Honestly, when they were like just singing God Loves a Terrier, I was singing along and I was laughing about like how dumb the situation it was. It's one of those movies that for me I resonate with. I don't know exactly why. And it's like, it doesn't matter how many times I'm going to be watching this movie, I'm going to like it.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we feel very similarly about this.
Yeah. So it's like but it's like, I also recognize it's similar to The Fall. That is, I love this movie. I will watch it as many times as I can. I will recommend it to everyone. But it's not one of the best movies ever created or something like that. It's just really quality. Yeah, it's beautiful as fuck, and it's like, it's endearing. It's like, I know that you actually say that it's like darker than what it actually is, because it's a guy just cheating a girl for just getting drugs and committing suicide. But for me, it's like, it's super heartwarming, and it's like, this movie is the same kind of way about like, it's awkward and endearing to see these people treat their dogs in that kind of way.
Well, come to my house. I'll show you more of this.
Okay, you need to send me the picture of your husband, like just carrying it off like that. That's amazing.
I took it with his phone. I'll ask him for it and see.
That's good. Okay, man. So what are we going to be watching this?
So we are going to be watching an Ethan Hawke film.
No.
Like 90 minutes before I left your house for the airport, I was like, shit, I didn't download anything on Netflix. What should I download? And you're like, oh, I saw this amazing horror film starring Ethan Hawke, and we had just seen Gattaca, and so I was super into it. And we never watch horror movies, and rarely are there good horror movies. So I was thrilled you recommended it. I couldn't download it, so I haven't seen it yet, but it's 2012's Sinister, starring Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, I'm super curious to see how you feel about it and how I also feel about it, because I think that I saw you the opening scene and that gave me the creeps for days about like, holy shit, this is disturbing. Why you're shooting this in slow motion?
It gave me the trailer, and that scene gave me Ari Aster.
That feeling.
What's the movie that is the best in
Hereditary?
Hereditary. It gives me Hereditary vibes, like in the best way possible. So I'm really hoping I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's a bit more like classical, classic horror, more than what the Ari Aster was trying to do until he just went off road. But yeah, I'm super excited to watch this, especially now that we're like getting into September. You know, this is the time to just watch a horror.
Spooky films.
Excited.
And you know what's really scary? You turn 41 in a few days.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you right now. I was discussing with a friend of mine that she's also turning, that she turned 41 some weeks ago, and we were discussing about like, is this when we get into the 40s? Is this like when we actually change centuries and the likes, or is not?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like it was when you turned 40.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I was trying to just, I was just trying to enjoy my last weeks in the 30s, but no.
That's fine. I get it. Technically, though, for the first year you were on Earth, you were 0. So this is really your 42nd year starting.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you. I don't want to get closer to 50. I don't want to get closer. At least for the time being. Just with time.
Just think about all the little boys that are looking for a daddy.
Oh, God, I already... Yeah, no, don't... Yeah. Let's just leave it there. Okay, man. This was great. Any closing remarks about Westing Show? Or anything?
No, I just love when you recommend me genres that aren't typically our go-tos. So, thanks for introducing me to Best in Show.
Yeah, of course, man. And to all those people, all that myriad of people listening to us, anything to sell?
Just wash your hands.
Okay, bye.